Hi, everybody. Again, it's good to see you all out there today. I really do appreciate you watching, listening, and subscribing to my little channel here. This, in a way, makes up for me not having become an entertainer. There was a time in my life where I considered becoming a musician. As many of you know, I used to play drums in my teenage years and up until my 20s. And there was a side of me that also wanted to be a stand up comic. And looking back, I think, as far as I'm concerned, just me personally, I don't think it would have been a good thing for me. The fame and fortune would have been nice, I suppose. But I remembered something that I read many years ago. And I think it turned out better for me that I did not become an entertainer. Many of you are old enough to remember when David Lee Roth left Van Halen. Some say he was fired, some say he quit. But either way, David Lee Roth left Van Halen. It was around that same time that I read an interview of the guitarist he hired for his band, Steve Vai. Steve Vai, by the way, is a New Yorker. He comes from Long Island. He comes from a beautiful town called Carle Place, New York. And when I heard that David Lee Roth hired a New Yorker for his guitarist, I really perked up and thought, hey, wow, that's great. A hometown boy, almost. But Steve Vai talked about the temptations of touring. And he said, money is still being exchanged in cash, even to this day, between parties. And there's a lot of money that comes and goes in briefcases. When you're an entertainer, you're awake mostly at night. So what there is to eat or drink that's healthy for you may not always be readily available. And the worst part of it is if you're not able to occupy yourself in some way, it can be very lonely because touring involves being away from people you love, friends and family, for extended periods of time. And he said, although I don't have any trouble with drugs or alcohol, you can understand why other people in the industry might have it. Whether you're a stand up comic or you're a musician or you're an actor who's on a movie set away from home for 2 or 3 months at a time, the temptations become too great for some people. And that's how they succumb to addiction, and some even die. And I I can kind of understand that, and I thought, well, becoming a professional driver was my version of being a rock star. I'm driving a big vehicle, so I'm driving heavy metal instead of playing it. And as a bus driver, my passengers were my fans, and whatever route I was driving on was like my arena or my stadium. So I kind of transposed my being a rock star in other ways like that. And when my old coworkers brought up me being the class clown and straight A student with my funny commentary on video that would be played at safety meetings, that also in a way was me being a stand-up comic, you know. And even here, I figured if Michael Ian Black is considered funny, and David Letterman was considered funny, and Chris Farley was considered funny, well, somebody out there has to find me funny, okay? I hope you do. If I'm not always funny, I understand, but sometimes I do think that I can make you chuckle just a bit, and that's what I aim for at the least. When I point things out to you that people say or do that are just plain silly. But we were at the dog park last night, my wife and I, and we met a couple very nice people, a husband and wife who met while they were in Narcotics Anonymous. They've been clean and sober for 10 years, and they had their key fobs hanging off their belt loops of their faded jeans. and pronouncing they were 10 years clean and sober. And I recognized them right away because I'd known other people back home in New York who were the same way, and I complimented them. And one thing that caught my ear was when the man in the relationship, their boyfriend and girlfriend, I believe, they're not married just yet, but they met a couple of years ago in Narcotics Anonymous. And the man said, I spilled my guts to this beautiful lady, pointing to the lady in the relationship. He spilled his guts. I spilled my guts. I spilled my guts. All right, I know the man had a lot on his plate physically and mentally with substance addiction. I praise him in every sense of the word for seeking help and getting himself all clean again. But could the rest of us at least not use spill my guts if you're going to confess something? Okay, you're not stabbing yourself in your guts and letting them leak out of your body. Okay? If you spill your guts, then you better go to the emergency room right away. Okay? Just say, I opened my heart. I confessed. I spoke to someone. Okay? That's all I'm asking for you to do. Okay? Just don't say, spill my guts. All right? Because you kind of sound stupid when you say it. Okay? This is from me to you and everybody out there who is going through any kind of substance abuse or spousal abuse or any other kind of abuse that there could be. All right? Okay. You be good out there. We'll see you next time.